Yo, what's up, everybody? James Cattato checking in Williamsburg for another episode of Sportswrap Sit-Downs. Our guest today, a local to Williamsburg, a former Jamestown High School alum, and right now he's doing some massive stuff on the social media scene and really just in general. Over 300 million views accumulated on his Umpire channel content, over 300,000 subscribers and followers across all social media platforms. He grew up playing ball right here at the War Hill Sports Complex. That would be Noah Katz, the founder of the Umpire channel. Noah, thanks so much for taking the time. It's a beautiful day out here. You're a busy man, and you're getting ready for something that's huge. Your first Savannah Bananas umpiring experience here in Virginia at the Diamond in Richmond, June 20th and June 21st. Talk to me about what that sentence means to you.
Yeah, it means a lot. I grew up playing right here on this field and grew up going to games in Richmond, hoping one day to be out there on the field. And, yeah, on June 20th and 21st, I'm going to get to do that. It's just such a dream come true. I've now gotten to live out a lot of, the bucket list items from my childhood, from umpiring at Nats Park, where I grew up going to games, to umpiring later in the summer at Camden Yards, and, now umpiring right here in my backyard in Richmond. It's been a pretty incredible experience and really looking forward to it.
And I don't mean to diminish everything that you've done, because I say first umpiring experience with the Savannah Bananas in the state of Virginia, but that doesn't mean you haven't hit some historic landmarks already with the Bananas. You've been with the Bananas now. This is coming up on your second season umpiring with the Bananas, but your third season in total, correct?
Yeah, third season filming with them. I guess, now second season umpiring with them.
But you've been to Fenway Park. I mean, you're going to Camden Yards, Yankee Stadium, Petco Field in San Diego. You are hitting a bucket list for just baseball fans worldwide, just wanting to go to these ballparks. But you get to be on the field. And I want to pull one video of yours out that I just found so impressive. You were standing, I believe it was last week or 2 weeks ago, and just scanning around, 75,000 people just surrounding you. And the interesting thing about the Bananas, they're selling out college football stadiums. They're selling out 80, 90,000, 100,000 seat stadiums. These aren't just baseball fields anymore, and you're in the center of that. Do you stop and smell the roses ever?
Yeah, you definitely have to, on the field, get out there and just take a moment, look around, and you just look up, and then you have to look up even further because there are just so many people out there. 75,000 fans, to hear them all cheering at one time, clapping at one time. It's just such a dream come true to, umpire at these MLB parks that I dreamed of stepping on, to umpire at NFL stadiums that I could have never even dreamed of. So it's a very, very unique experience.
Now, obviously, when you're filming that content, right, a lot of it is part of the content, right? You looking around and taking it in. When do you really get a chance to take it in? Because obviously you tell somebody, take out your phone and get me doing this, right? But when do you really get a chance to take it in? When you're walking in and you see the fans for the first time? Like, when is the first time that you truly indulge yourself in that moment?
Something I like to do at every stadium we go to is, after we've, been there for a while, we've gotten some content, we're getting closer to the game, I like to go up to the top deck of the stadium, go as far away from home plate as we can, and just take it in. Because on the field, it starts to feel normal. You get into your routine, but then you go to the top of the stadium, you look down, you see everything, you often see the skyline of the city, and I think there is where you really can see the scale of just how many people are going to be at the game.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing of all of this, you have been so busy the past couple of months, and really ever since this channel took off. And I will say, I looked at your LinkedIn before all of this, and you're coming up on the 3-year anniversary mark of the Umpire channel. June 2022 was when the Umpire channel really was founded, right? Describe the past 3 years for me.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I started the Umpire channel, I believe, June 13th, 3 years ago, so almost exactly 3 years ago, right out here. It's just been an incredible journey to come out here knowing nothing about what I'm doing, just an idea of an impact that I wanted to make. Coming out with my little brother as a cameraman, my iPhone that could barely record video, I was falling apart, to now being able to scale up so much and have all these incredible opportunities, and really live a life that I like never could have dreamed of 3 years ago. It's an incredible journey and just getting started.
So you have started to branch off of, I don't want to go too far ahead, actually. I want to talk about one of the first videos that really catapulted the channel forward. And that was the video at Harbor Park, becoming an umpire, being an umpire for a day. First of all, the fact that it was in your backyard, the fact that it was a video that blew up in a place where you kind of grew up, at Harbor Park. Was that all just curiosity? I know that when we talked last year, that kind of stemmed from you umpiring some high school baseball games here and there, and you kind of wanted to just give it a shot. But what stemmed that idea of going to Harbor Park, doing the Major League umpire training, but then pulling out your phone and documenting it?
Yeah, I think that goes again to like checking off all these bucket list items of all these places that I grew up going to games and falling in love with the game of baseball, and Harbor Park was again one of those places. And so I had started the Umpire channel, and actually a few weeks into it, in the first summer that I had started it, it turned out a MLB umpire camp was coming out to Richmond, actually at the Diamond. That was where the first one was, and I went out there. I filmed. I was still very early in the filming, so the video did pretty well. But that was my first experience with the MLB umpire camp, and it was just such a unique and perfect experience for the channel. Got to go out and learn from MLB umpires and be around so many different umpires from so many different places. So that's what kind of stemmed the idea. And then I saw it was going to be in Norfolk at Harbor Park, an opportunity to go umpire at my hometown stadium. To go out there and have another incredible experience, and actually flew home from college for that. Didn't have much money saved up at that point. It was kind of betting the bank a little bit there, and it paid off. That video has 10 million views. We still have people reaching out from it who are interested in becoming umpires, interested in attending MLB umpire camp. So again, another bucket list item.
So you were a varsity baseball player at Jamestown High School. Third baseman?
Third base, second base. Yeah, played all around.
Yeah. I guess just, for the people at home, why umpiring? Why not try to go to Clark University and play baseball? Why not try to extend that baseball dream on the field instead of behind home plate?
Yeah, so umpiring started out, again, right here while I was still playing. I loved to play, and it was getting to the point where I was looking for a part-time job. And I got to know the umpires in this local Little League really well. They said when you're older, this is a great part-time job. You get to be around the game of baseball, get to be outside, get to make good money while doing it. So started umpiring when I was 16, and just loved it. And then I still played baseball while I was umpiring, which was a pretty cool experience. I got to umpire some of my friends. Sometimes I would play a game on Saturday with high school and then go umpire one of their travel games on Sunday. So it was two, kind of going together. And then getting to college, I ended up choosing to run cross country and track in college instead of kind of pursuing baseball. But so happy to have found such a unique way and meaningful way to get back on the field.
And normally with umpiring comes a lot of, heckling, we'll call it, if you want to put it in a nice term. I think you found a really nice medium ground, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you like to, still umpire the high school scene, the college scene when you still can, but doing it with the Bananas, the nice thing is that the umpire isn't such a pivotal part of what decides a baseball game. If anything, the umpire is someone who may be loved by the fans at Bananas games because they get involved with the action, right? So how nice is it to be on that side of the spectrum of umpiring?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. And, at the whole thing, the whole antithesis of the channel is, showing the human side, showing, I'm just a guy. I play baseball. I like the Mets. I'm just a guy behind the mask. And, we've seen that kind of shift to positive behavior, even when I'm just umpiring Little League games where kids are coming up, coaches are coming up and saying, I never thought about umpires. I maybe would be, easy, more quick to yell at them, more quick to argue calls. But now now I see what you're doing. I see how hard it is, and I appreciate it more. So we're getting people coming up saying that. We're getting people coming up who have now become umpires from our content. And then definitely at the Bananas, it's a very cool experience where so many people, appreciate the umpires. They love the dancing umpire, Vincent Chapman. They really love him. They're coming up to me and saying they love the channel, like asking for autographs and pictures. So it's all been such a positive experience, and such a positive experience to create something positive around something that's almost always viewed negatively.
Yeah, totally. I asked you this last year, and I know that maybe your goals haven't shifted. Maybe they have shifted a little bit now that your channel has done so well, especially over the past couple of months. But have you ever gained interest since the last time we talked in umpiring Major League Baseball and umpiring in the minor leagues, something of that extent?
Yeah, again, potentially still have a year left of college, so we'll have to see. But definitely, happy where I'm at now in growing the umpiring, growing the social media, and really just trying to have the most significant impact possible. So I think right now the path is more towards that, but we'll have to see. You never know.
Yeah, never leaving a door unopened, I guess. I think it's so interesting too how the content has started to branch. Right, it's a beautiful spider web, if you will, of what it started out as versus now you're interviewing top prospects in locker rooms for baseball games. I see you at NBA All-Star Weekend talking to officials, going around. Like the events that you're getting credentialed for is now not just gone past umpiring, it's gone past the sport of baseball in general. Was that always the vision, or did you get a phone call one day and said, maybe we can branch this content a little further out?
Yeah, it was a little bit in the vision. The vision was to start with umpiring and kind of grow from there. And I think, it'll always be the Umpire channel based around that. But, we're definitely going to expand from there. We've first expanded to filming with sports officials in other sports. We filmed with pro hockey referees. We filmed with NBA and WNBA referees and college football officials. So, first expanding within officiating, covering all sports, and then also expanding to general content, to baseball content. We've interviewed top prospects like Jackson Holliday at Harbor Park and Roman Anthony with the Woo Sox. So we've interviewed MLB players, and I've done more fun baseball content. Like yesterday, we did a fun giveaway with a company right here on Field 4. We gave away a bunch of baseball training tools to all of them. So I think the opportunities are endless, and we're excited to continue to expand.
Not just expanding the content, but also expanding the team. When I last talked to you, you maybe had 2 or 3 people with you on staff. And I think for a lot of people at home, something that is important to realize is it's not just Noah. Noah has people with him in this entire process. How have you expanded the team over the past year?
Definitely. Very slow, and with everything for the channel, it's very exponential. It's slow, and then it's almost all at once in a way. So yeah, we're adding videographers, and sometimes it's people who we're meeting at a banana game, or we're meeting at a Little League game. They're coming up to us. Sometimes they're reaching out over social media. So we have videographers and thumbnail editors and graphic designers and short form editors. Even my brother, who filmed the first video with me for the channel, he's still filming with me. He filmed
Nice.
the video yesterday where we did a giveaway for the kids in the local Little League. So I think we've expanded at a good rate and now have a really strong team behind us. And again, we're excited because we think we're just at the start of all of this.
And I don't disagree with that at all. I think I think the one thing that I want to touch on is how does a person stand out to Noah Katz to make him say, I want you to work for me?
Yeah, I think it's, having kind of building in public, showing what you do. If you're a videographer, then I'm hoping if you're reaching out that you have a page where you have examples of your work, so I can go check out exactly what you do. If you're a graphic designer, and you wanna work with us, can you do this graphic? We have this video or this idea that we're looking to do. Let's test it out. Let's do a test on a different thing, a project, see how it is, see how that relationship it is. So I think it really showing your work, and then just being there, being consistent, and wanting to add to the channel.
Yeah. You got a pretty cool opportunity last month throwing out the first pitch for a Woo Sox game, and the Worcester Red Sox are are the AAA affiliate to the Boston Red Sox. Now, obviously, you go to college out in Worcester at Clark University. What was that experience like, being able to throw out a first pitch at a game like that? It's just that's pretty cool.
Yeah, again, it's chopping off a bucket list item. When I got to college, I thought, wow, it's so cool that Polar Park, the AAA team for the Red Sox, is walking distance from my college. Like, I'm gonna do something with them. Like, I'm gonna get access. We're gonna film content. And at the start, it was literally just my cross country team. We were like working the merchandise, or we were working the food, food court as a fundraiser for our team. And I saw the players out there warming up. Like, one day I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna get media credentials. We're gonna film with them. And then it was someone at the team who invited us out for a tour, and that was really cool. And we got some content. And then eventually we scaled up, and we're doing player interviews. Now we're filming with umpires there and doing a bunch of different stuff. And then I'm them inviting me out to throw out a first pitch and being able to collaborate more with the team that's just down the road. Just like I've been able to collaborate with the Norfolk Tides, and now going out to Richmond. It's all of the bucket list items coming together.
And within that experience too was Wu-Tang, right? So the Woo Sox had an opportunity, almost like a Shark Tank opportunity for young entrepreneurs in college to pitch their business ideas and their brands. And you had the winning idea with the Umpire channel, which gave you, I believe it was almost $3,000,
Yeah.
correct? How validating is that? Because when you look at that area and you look at the colleges that are in that area, and I'm sure the young entrepreneurs, and I'm talking like, there are just some brilliant universities in that Boston, New England area, and you had the winning idea.
Definitely. It was really validating. It's just so validating to see the Umpire channel, the concept of it, the idea, the future of it being viewed so positively by people in so many different places. That, a Little League coach and a Little League player will come up to me and say they love it. That, news organizations will, reach out and do interviews. That the Bananas will have us out to umpire and to film. And then, again, in the business side, that these, the judges were entrepreneurs themselves who've developed amazing companies, that they see the value in it, and that it's, all come together there. It's just such a good sign for the channel, and, really gets us excited to just keep pushing.
You were talking to your university in an interview that they did with you, and you said that because of what happened within the past couple of months, that there's been potential to transition this opportunity into your full-time career. When you say that out loud, when you were just back here with your brother 3 years ago, almost to the day, filming your first video for the Umpire channel, did you ever imagine that it would grow to the potential of a full-time job for you?
I definitely hoped, but I had no idea how it was going to get to that point. Just looking back, thinking, like, just walking over here to film, we had no idea what we were doing. We had a dream and an idea, and that was enough to start the journey. But I could not have imagined this coming together in the form that it has. Definitely could have never imagined umpiring for the Bananas and people, umpiring at these MLB stadiums that I grew up playing in, NFL stadiums. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't think most people knew that was a thing till, this year. So no, it's just really a childhood dream come true in a lot of ways.
What has been the most, because I think the Bananas have just catapulted to a different stratosphere. Like in recent years, they have been huge, right? But like, you see it on social media this summer with their tour that they're doing, and I think the one that really stood out to me was Clemson's football stadium. And you're seeing fan videos from the top row.
Oh yeah.
And you can't even, it looks like a Clemson football game. But then you see a baseball field down in the middle of it, and you're like, what the heck is going on down there? Was there ever a moment where it just like surprised you that you couldn't even believe that this brand has gotten this big?
Yeah, in a way, yes, because of the scale. In a way, no, because of how hard they work, how innovative they are, what a just creative atmosphere they've cultivated. So, just thinking about how hard, Jesse Cole, the owner of the Banana works, in a way, not surprised that they're getting to the scale, but then also just to step out onto the field and see 81,000 fans engaged with the game, having fun, just cheering so loud. It's just pretty unreal to see in person.
How, and because I think a lot of people want to know how banana ball works, and I don't mean like the fundamentals and the rules of the game. I mean like, how do they get 80,000 people to show up? How does it work? How is it as big as it is, in your opinion?
Yeah, through years of hard work, they started out with a one-city world tour where they went to one city, and they sold out a few thousand seats, and it's just been growth after growth. They have a huge team. They're entertaining, always putting the fans first at all times, and they have just steadily built up to where they can sell out, where I just umpired in Charlotte, 75,000 fans 2 nights in a row, pretty easily. And I think they're just going to keep expanding. They're going to play at the biggest stadiums in existence in back-to-back nights. They're going to keep playing at the biggest MLB stadiums, and the sky is absolutely the limit.
Is there one goal stadium that you want to hit while you're with the Bananas, or have you already hit it?
In a way, I've hit it in Fenway Park, the hometown.
Yeah.
I am a Mets fan personally, so I am really hoping that they play at Citi Field next year. So that would really be the mecca for me.
Okay, is Citi Field. Because then I think, like, why not go to, like, the Tokyo Dome, right? Like, why not take this internationally? There's got to be some sort of international audience that would love to see that, because then you look at, the one thing that sets people apart with the Savannah Bananas is, like, they're not just baseball players, right? I think of somebody like Coach Rack. Like, Robert Anthony Cruz grew his Instagram brand before he was a Savannah Banana, but he was in the Washington Nationals organization before he even started Coach Rack on his Instagram page. Like, you started as a videographer, but then you grew the Umpire channel, right? Like, there are things that make the Banana players different and available easily on social media. Do you feel like that global appeal, have you seen maybe in your own content that there is a global appeal?
There is absolutely a global appeal, and I can't confirm anything because it's not announced, but it will be going international at some point, probably some point very soon. I think the Tokyo Dome is a very real possibility, as our London Stadium. There's the biggest stadiums all across the world. Every game, people are coming from all across the country and all across the world. There are people flying from other countries for a home game in Savannah. Yeah. And that's because of exactly what you said. They might have followed, 3 or 4 players from the start. Like Coach Rack. They saw him when he was, getting signed by the Nats, and they followed his journey ever since. And you just have such a personal relationship. And you can even have relationships with the extenuating cast, from the umpires to the first base coach, to the coaches, the dancers, to the band. Like if you play in the band, you might be following like the saxophone guy with the Bananas. He's awesome. And then you go to the game, you want to see him, you also want to see the game. So there's just so many reasons that people want to go to the game. And then also, you're involved in the game as a fan. If you catch a foul ball, it's an out. There's nothing comparable to this, where fans are just so engraved in the game, and it all leads to an experience that's unlike any other.
Walk me through an average week, because you just wrapped up your junior year at Clark, and you were a cross-country runner at Clark. And I remember last year when we talked, you talked about, well, actually, we did the interview right at this field last year, and then you finished with the interview, and then you just start running. You slipped on your running shoes, and then you just started going, because in the War Hill Sports Complex, there's endless terrain to be able to do that. Walk me through, now that things have picked up, as a student during the academic year, what does an average week look like for Noah Katz? Yeah,
I will say there isn't usually an average week. There's it's a pretty hectic, but in the best way possible. Again, like this is the dream life. I'll give you an example of a week where we actually just posted a week in the life video. We did a YouTube video about it, a short about it, which was super fun. So I believe on Monday I went to cross country practice. I went to class first. I had 2 classes in the morning. One of my classes, Derek Rose, was actually supposed to come as a guest speaker. Didn't end up making that, unfortunately, but had class, really good marketing class. Then I went to cross-country practice, finished that up, Then hopped in the car, went to Logan Airport in Boston, flew out to Indiana for the Big Ten basketball tournament. So I was there for the next 2 days. I was filming with the officials, filmed at first the Horizon League Championship game. Winner of that goes to March Madness. Then opening night of the Big Ten basketball tournament. Then after that, and through all of that, I'm editing the content, I'm getting it up, I'm planning for the rest of the week. Then after that, I flew to Tampa, where the Bananas were playing at their first NFL stadium, which was at the Buccaneers Stadium in Tampa, and then umpired there for the next few days. Got a lot of content, and that was a week in the life. So it's pretty crazy, hard to fit everything in, but it just barely works, and that's the way I love it.
When you are filming content, first of all, that's a lot. That's you're probably working, if you had to ballpark, what are you working, maybe 75, 80 plus hours a week, really?
Yeah, probably even more than that. It's all consuming, but it doesn't feel like work because I love every second of it. Someone was asking, like, oh, you never go on vacation. Like, I go on vacation every week. I get to go, umpire at my favorite MLB stadiums. I get to go to the biggest, most significant events in sports and, cover it and do what I love. So it's a lot of work, but most of it does not feel like it.
So when you're filming that content, how many videos do you want to stack up maybe that you aren't going to post right on location while you're there? Like, how ahead are you right now, I guess, in content?
Yeah, so we just filmed. I umpired for the Bananas at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, and I think we filmed 8 videos, a long-form video. So, we have a doc of ideas of, stuff we're going out to film. We have, specific times coordinating with the Banana schedule when we want to film it, players we want to film with it, with during it, umpires we want to film, how we want to set it up, where we want to, do it, how to get the audio, how to get the video, how to get B-roll. So, yeah, we stack up a lot of videos, especially at these, like once-a-year opportunities. We're not going back to Bank of America Stadium, maybe till next year. So, we have to do everything we can to get the content there. So, a lot of stacking up, a lot of planning, but it just always turns up pretty well in the end.
Transitioning back to one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to bring you on is the fact that, June 20th, June 21st at the Diamond in Richmond, you said you grew up going to Richmond Flying Squirrels games, right? So now you have that opportunity with the Bananas, considering it's your first stop with the Bananas in your home state in Virginia. I know that when they came to Harbor Park, you didn't get the opportunity to be able to do that. How much more does it mean to you knowing that it is in Richmond? You grew up going to those games. It's not that far away from Williamsburg. How much does that mean to you?
It means everything. And we were just filming with the local all-star team yesterday. Some of the kids are going to the game. And I know many different people are going to the games, like people who I grew up playing in front of. It's nothing like playing in your hometown and just bringing just such a positive crowd, such a positive atmosphere. So I'm beyond excited.
Was there ever a moment in your career so far, in this 3-year career, where you looked at the window of what you've been doing and you said, oh, I can really parlay this into something special?
Yeah, I mean, many times where it was doubtful. We weren't sure. It was slow. Maybe it was, during the winter months and the baseball off season, things weren't working out. It hasn't been straight up, but, eventually it has gotten to that point. But yeah, there have definitely been moments, like a year ago when I umpired at Fenway Park. That was definitely wow, we made it. We got to the other side. I think this is going to work out. Right now, honestly, it feels like one of those moments where, we're umpiring at these NFL stadiums, these MLB stadiums, these stream opportunities. The channel is taking off. We're getting posted by ESPN multiple times. The videos are getting back-to-back millions of views. So, yeah, it definitely, feels good to be on the other side of that in a way, but definitely, not, we haven't reached the end. I think we're just at the start.
I know that the mission last year, when I talked to you last, was about spreading awareness toward the fact that umpires are people, too.
Definitely.
Right? Is that still the mission? I know you referenced a lot of statistics talking about mental health of umpires and heated arguments between parents and umpires and ejections. Is that still the main mission of the Umpire channel.
Definitely. I mean, our goal is to be the leading voice for sports officials. We want to get people more interested in officiating, help solve shortages. We want to make officiating a better experience and youth sports a better experience for everyone. Because when you have enough umpires that are showing up to the games, when parents are treating umpires and officials with respect, and vice versa, when people understand what's going on, you just make youth sports such a positive spot for everyone. And I owe everything to youth sports, to growing up playing baseball. So if I can be a small part in making that a better place, then I'll work every day to do it.
Do you think you are a small part? I don't think you're just a small part. I think you're kind of turning into a large part here. Would you agree?
I think so. We are just getting so many people every day reach out who they become officials from our content. A kid who watched our videos has been umpiring for a year. Kids, parents, and coaches who are saying, they're treating officials better. So yes, it is absolutely making an impact. And again, I think we're just at the start of making that impact, and we're excited to continue to grow and just make youth sports a better place for everyone.
Because I think a lot of it too, right, is finding your niche, right, finding your lane in the social media sphere, because there's so much oversaturation of content to where you could just be posting anything, right? Like your interview that you did with Roman Anthony not too long ago in the clubhouse. There are 27 other people that I'm sure were lined up right after you, trying to do the same thing and post it and get that interaction of, I just talked to the best prospect in baseball. Same with Jackson Holiday. People want those clicks. You have something that makes your content different. How important is that?
It's everything. I think, being unique and really, I'm thinking, what would 12-year-old Noah think is the coolest thing? Like, what questions would I want to ask a MLB player? Because at the same time, like, I'm still that kid who loves playing baseball, and we definitely take that frame into everything of what is the most fun we can have. Like when we're filming a video, like sometimes we're too serious, and we'll literally just stop. We'll go, what is the most fun version of this we can make?
Yeah.
What is the most fun and interesting question we can ask to a player, to an umpire? What is something they haven't thought about before? So, yeah, I think it's everything. I would definitely recommend that to anyone starting. The first step is just to start. Even if you don't know exactly where you're going, start making content, start getting better at that. But then after that, as you're going, start really thinking, what is your unique perspective? Because I promise everyone has their own unique perspective.
Yeah. Talk to me, talk to the people as we wrap up here about what is next for Noah Katz. Obviously at the Diamond, June 20th, June 21st, but what is next? What can people expect for you, your channel, and where can they see you?
Yeah, so you can see the Umpire channel at the Umpire channel on Instagram, on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and visit our website, theUmpireChannel.com. And what is next is a lot. We will be umpiring at MLB stadiums like Yankee Stadium, PNC Park, Petco Park, the Diamond, Camden Yards. We're going to be bringing you a behind-the-scenes access that no one's ever seen before. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to film with MLB umpires and officials in different sports and continue to tell stories that haven't been told before and make the youth sports industry a better place for everyone. So I really hope people will follow along because I think we're just getting started.
Noah Katz,
the
Umpire channel, over 300 million views accumulated, almost the 3-year anniversary to the day. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on all your success. And again, you can find him at the Diamond in Richmond, the home of the Flying Squirrels, June 20th, June 21st. It's going to be a fun time. Noah's going to be on the field. Dance with them, have a lot of fun, and we will see you on the next episode of Sportswrap Sit Downs.